And you join us back in the commentary tower as we can see the quads for race 205 starting to turn onto the start line. So this is the J16 Girls Quads, an event which is hugely popular with 30 crews in this time trial trying to qualify to get through to two finals, an A and a B final. So that is 30 crews starting for 12 spots in the A and B final. Now, the girls at this stage, as they're waiting to turn around and be let go from the time trial, know that this event is incredibly important. What we've seen previously in the last race, in race 204 with the J16 second eights for the girls, they knew that they were going to have a final later on, that they were all going to get through to the final. But these girls are in a very different position, where they have to put on an incredibly strong performance. And in this field, in this lineup, we have some incredibly strong crews with a lot of pedigree and from clubs that are very familiar with this event. So as they're just turning round onto the start line, can't quite see from this camera angle the blades of the crews that are currently on the start line, but when we do see a closer picture, we will update you on their progress. And as we come back to the start line for race 205, the J16 Girls Quads, we can see a number of crews starting to come up. And as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, we also have crews lining up along the banks. Now, this is going to be a very difficult event, not only for the girls themselves in the physical effort, but also the umpires to logistically manage 30 crews wanting to get up to the top. And the first crew is underway. They are off. They have been set off down lane 2. And you can see that they are pushing forward. They know that they've got to make this time trial work for them in the best way possible. As we mentioned earlier, that is 30 crews down to 12 in the two finals. And Newark Rowing Club have set off. They are in the first ones down the course. Second is Kingston Grammar School Boat Club that are the second down the course. Now, they're set off with 20 seconds between them. So the crews know that if they are starting to catch the crew in front of them, that they are being catching up and having overlap even. Some may even overtake. They will know that they are incredibly fast. That will be something that we know the girls will be wanting to experience as they come down. Next being spun, and goes Godolphin and Latimer. And they're just waiting to be given the okay from an umpire to get underway. And that's probably one of the most nerve-wracking parts of this race for them is not quite having the same level of control as when they're looking at the light. So this is very different from the finals that they will be undertaking later on in the day, where they'll be having a light and a clear start for all of them, whereas this time trial is on the umpire's command. And Godolphin and Latimer are off from the start. You can see more crews coming in. As I said, 30 crews in this race. It's a very, very popular race. And Godolphin and Latimer look like they have gone off to a very smooth start. Next up is Bedford Modern. You can see the girls sitting at front stops there, making sure that they are ready for their race. And more crews keep coming in on your right-hand side of your picture. You can see the crews coming and waiting. And there is a set order that they have to be set off in. So there will be an umpire and there'll be officials that are calling them up to make sure that they are in the correct order. And next off is Bedford. William Borlase is getting ready on the start line. 20 seconds may seem like a very small amount of time, but these crews will know that it is going to be very difficult to close that gap between them. And so William Borlase off to a good start there. You can see them, they started from a standing start and making sure that they are getting it as fast out of the blocks as possible in this time trial. Next up is Exeter Rowing Club. They have just spun onto the start line. And Sir William Borlase are just spinning onto the start line. Lady Enla holes coming into our screen now in the yellow hull. And whilst we can see that they are nicely spread out when they are racing down the course, as you can see, there is a lot of traffic up at the start line with crews getting ready to go. And this can sometimes be a mental challenge for the crews if they were expecting to start off at a time and there is a hold up for some reason. It can throw them slightly straight after their warm-up. So it's all about keeping the mental preparation at this stage to make sure that they are in the best position possible to go as fast as possible in the time trial and secure a place in the A or B final of this event. And we've got some times coming through at the halfway mark for Newark Rowing Club. So when we get the full times, we'll be announcing those. There'll be unofficial times. We've got Abingdon Rowing Club that have just started. And Tideway Scullers in our picture now, just getting themselves prepared. Tideway Scullers running a huge junior program and have been very successful in this event in the past. And I'm sure we'll be wanting to continue that success this year. And we believe this is Newark Rowing Club on our screens now. They are number 129 and they are stroked by Emma Joy. So in the lineup there, we've got Emma Joy in stroke, Molly Joyce in the 3-seat, Kate Revel in 2, and Ella Abraham in the bow seat. Now, unlike the 8s that we saw earlier, these are Cox's boats. So Ella in the bow seat is going to be not only calling her crew and motivating them, but also steering her way down the boys' course, which for anyone listening who has not steered a Cox's boat is not always as easy as it may seem. But thankfully today here at Dorney, we have very little wind, which should make it easier for the crews to proceed down the course without too much problem. We've got Kingston approaching Newark, and they are looking like they have got overlap. They are rowing through them. They have definitely got gained an awful lot of time on Newark, and so Newark are going to want to use that as motivation to push off of them. Kingston came through the 1400 meter mark with a 18 seconds faster than Newark Rowing Club, so they're going to know that they're in a very strong position and want to close the final stage as fast as possible to make sure that they put themselves in the best position possible for the A or B final. And they have now got overlap as they come into these final stages. We're here next to the red boys, indicating the final 250 meters of the 2,000 meter course. And Kingston have got overlap. I believe they've got their stern. They're sitting on the stroke seat of Newark. And Kingston have put in a really impressive performance there. All 4 girls looking incredibly neat and sharp on their blade work. And they hope now to see a positive result and see those performances give them a strong position in the A or B final. So that was an unofficial finish time for Kingston of 7:05 and for Newark 7:27. Back up the course, we've got Godolphin and Latimer still coming down the course and coming into the final closing stages. They're looking nice and sharp, but there is no overlap here with another crew, so they are rowing by themselves. That can sometimes be a help because you're not panicked by another crew around you, but it can also present a different mental challenge with the motivation to keep pushing yourself through to final closing stages, despite not having the competition around you that Kingston and Newark were just able to experience. But Godolphin and Latimer looking very tidy and clean as they come towards the finish line, and we can see them here in the commentary tower, really sitting nice and tall at the catches, and you can see them on your screen now as they come past. This is boat 131, stroked by Alexandra. And you can see Rebecca in the bow seat. They're looking over, just checking to see where she is on the course, wanting to make sure that she urges her crew to complete the course all the way to the finish line. And we do see occasionally here in time trials crews coming down off of their race pace earlier than expected because they've just misjudged that. So Rebecca there in the bow seat wanting to make sure that she gets that finish line correct for her crews. Next up is Bedford Modern School. Now these girls are looking like they have come down the track very, very fast indeed, but we're not sure about what their finishing time will be. That was an unofficial finish time for Godolphin of 7:27, so very close to Newark's finishing time. We've therefore got Kingston Grammar School still sitting with the fastest time, but this is only crew number 4 coming across the finish line now of the lineup of 30 for this event, so there's a lot that can change over the next few minutes. Sir William Borlase have got a unofficial finish time of 7:22, which puts them in the second position. Bedford Modern have just finished, their finish time has just come through at 7:39. And Exeter Rowing Club closely followed as they come into the finish. And as you join us back, we can see here there's another overlapping crew. Okay, so this is crew 136. So that is City of Bristol Rowing Club coming through, and they are overtaking Walbrook Rowing Club on 138 on the right hand side of your screen. Apologies there, so it's 135 and 136, so LEH, Lady Eleanor Holes, and City of Bristol Rowing Club, and so Lady Eleanor Holes are really there making sure that they accelerate through them, and they have completely broken water now. They've rowed through them, they've rowed them down, and they all wanting to be making sure that they extend that lead as much as possible. Then we have the next crew coming down is 139, which is Abingdon Rowing Club. These girls are very nice and long as they come towards us in the commentary tower. Abingdon Rowing Club, stroked by Zoe, with 3-seat Isabel, 2-seat Annabelle, and bow seat Rose. And you can see Rose again, another bow girl that's just making sure that she's getting herself in the right position, having a quick check to each side to put her in the best position along the course. And another tussle we can't quite see on our screens, but further up the lake we've got another tussle between Sir William Perkins School and George Watson College. Again, another overtake, which is putting girls in a very strong mental position to want to proceed their lead. And here we go. You can see this tussle that's happening here between Sir William Perkins and George Watson College. Sir William Perkins really wanting to accelerate through. You can see the girls there pressing for the line in boat 141, having a real fight at the end to ensure that they extend the lead and give themselves the best time possible for the final draw of the two A and B finals. That is an unofficial finish time of 7:29 for William Perkins School. And George Watson College, a very good row from then of 7:11, which puts them just 6 seconds behind Kingston Grammar School, which is still currently sat up there in first position. Just crossing the finish line was Tideway Scholars School. They've come up with an unofficial finish time of 7:10. So they've just overtaken George Watson College into the second fastest time of this time trial so far. But as we mentioned earlier, there is a very big field for this J16 girls quad event with 30 crews, with only 13 to have crossed the finish line. And as we can see in our screens now, we've got the Grange School, the rowing club coming through. This is stroked by Jessica, backed up by Natasha, Lottie and Sophia in the bow seat. Again, there we go, another look from the bow girl. Sophia looking over her shoulder, checking that she's in the right position. And they have really pushed themselves into a good position here. They've managed to maintain the distance between them and the crew in front. And they are pushing off and looking very strong as they're coming into these following stages. And this is the Grange School approaching the last 50 metres of this race, wanting to make sure they put themselves in the best position for the finals. And that is a unofficial finish time for Grange School of 7:50. Closely followed there by Bedford Girls Rowing Club, with an unofficial finish time of 8:11. So currently with the time trials, we're still sitting first position with Kingston Grammar School with a time of 7:05. It'll be interesting to see if we have any crews coming down the course now who can compete for that top spot. And as we can see on our screens now, we've got the girls from Team Keen, I believe, in the very distinct neon yellow unisuits and a very distinct purple Stampley shell as well. In the boat park, the Stampley purple shells really do stand out amongst lots of yellow and white boats. And coming down the course, we've got three in very quick succession. So we have on your screens now Walton Rowing Club, boat 144, stroked by Evie, and then followed up by Darcy, Phoebe and Josie. Now they're looking very strong as they're coming into the finishing stages, wanting to hold themselves away from Wallingford Rowing Club. Nottingham Union, apologies. So we've got boat 144 Walton Rowing Club, followed by Nottingham Union Rowing Club, boat 148, followed by Headington. Now the girls in the Headington crew are number 149, stroked by Amelia, and Headington have a sculling program that has been incredibly dominant at National Schools Regatta for many years, closely followed by Henley Rowing Club. And these girls are going to want to make sure that they put on a strong performance, not only for their crew members, but also for their club, past and present. And as Henley come through the course, we're going to give you their times as they come in. So Headington School have given a time of 7:13. That puts them in fourth position so far of the 19 crews that have crossed the finish line. Still in first, we've got Kingston Grammar with a time of 7:05, and only followed by Tideway Scholars with 7:10. So there's a very clear lead there from Kingston Grammar. Now obviously the girls that are coming down the course will not know the times that these other crews have been set. We've got in front of us now Wallingford Rowing Club. Wallingford Rowing Club, based near Oxford University Boat Club. So they have seen experienced rowers around them when they've been on the water, and no doubt will want to be following in those footsteps of strong performances as a senior athlete. As Wallingford cross the line, they have a time of 7:47, putting them in 15th. Remember, it's only the first 12 crews from this time trial that will be able to proceed to the A and B final. Next, we have Lee Rowing Club, very distinct orange unisuits and blades there. And we've got their times coming through from Lee. Stratford-upon-Avon have just crossed the finish line, and it looks like they gained some of the distance between them and Lee Rowing Club. Lee Rowing Club have a finishing time of 7:24. That currently puts them in 7th position. And we have Henley just crossing the finish line. When their times come through, we will give those. And Henley Rowing Club, as expected, a very competitive time of 7:10. That puts them in 3rd position currently, behind Kingston Grammar and Tideway Scullers. It could be a very competitive A final here, with only 5 seconds separating the top 4 crews. We've on our screens now, we have Durham Amateur Rowing Club coming through into the closing stages. They've just crossed the line. There's a big gap now between the Molesey Boat Club as they're coming down. So this is Durham Amateur Rowing Club on our screens now as they're coming into the closing stages, closely followed by Marlow Rowing Club. Really, Marlow looking very impressive in front of the Durham Amateur Rowing Club that you can see on your screens currently. And Marlow really accelerating through into the finish. All the girls looking very sharp and in time there. They have had a very fast time on the previous splits from Marlow Rowing Club. When we have their unofficial time, yes, they've gone into 3rd position. They've presented a very, very fast time of 7:05. But Durham Amateur Rowing Club, an incredibly fast time. It's been corrected. Apologies. We had a slight error on the system there. So Durham Amateur Rowing Club posted a time of 7:27. That puts them in 12th position. So they are currently in the B final, but we have not had all the crews pass over the line yet. The girls in purple there from Whitcliffe. So we're coming into the final cruise of this event now. So they know that they've got to put everything they can to get into one of the 2 finals. Two clubs left on the course for this event: Kingston Rowing Club and Enniskillen Royal Boat Club from Ireland. Enniskillen having a very strong regatta so far and wanting to make the journey over from Ireland worth it for them. So we can see the 2 crews coming into our picture now. Kingston Rowing Club in front of us, probably wanting to try and be as competitive as Kingston Grammar, currently sitting at the top of this time trial. Once again, there's only 12 crews from these 30 crews that will be going through to the finals later this afternoon, and they will all be wanting a place in one of those lucrative spots. Kingston making a push for the line. You can see the rate has gone up, stroked by Arabella. She is wanting to make sure she gives her crew the best rhythm possible for a fast time. Final crew to be in this time trial is Enniskillen in front of us, and they have had a clean run down the course so far. A final crew to cross the finish line, and they have posted an unofficial time of, just as it's coming through, 7:17. So Enniskillen, whilst they may have been the last crew to in this time trial, have made that work for them, and they are in 8th position and giving themselves a spot in the B final. So unofficially, we have the top 12 as followed: Nottingham and Union Rowing Club in 12th, Weybridge Rowing Club 11th, Sir William Borlase 10th, Molesey Boat Club 9th, Enniskillen 8th, Wycliffe Junior Rowing Club 7th, Headington School 6th, George Watson's College 5th, Henley Rowing Club 4th, Tideway Scullers 3rd, Marlow, and then Still in the lead is Kingston Grammar, but there is only 5 seconds separating the top 5 crews, so we could be in for a very interesting A final later. So going back to the picture that you can see in front of you on the pontoons, you've got the crews now landing, and this will be, for some of them, a time of celebration.